Okay. Wow, that was a weird start. Sorry about that. Just got disrupted. But of course, welcome. Welcome to a another live stream. This time I'm going to be reading geek stuff. I love to read geek stuff. Now, I want to mention that my throat is hurting a bit. I don't even know why it's hurting, you know? Um, Yesterday it started hurting, and I'm wondering why. I barely spoke. Well, I think I was talking to myself, pacing around, thinking about my own thoughts. And as I was thinking, I may have spoken a couple of words to myself. Maybe, maybe I should just zip my mouth. Okay, so welcome to Bounding into Comics. This is the go-to place for geek news. Well, one of the go-to places. There's plenty other places to read stuff. There is another funny offensive site I would like to read, but honestly, I don't know if YouTube will even allow that site because it's so offensive. It's so offensive. People are just saying the N words in the chat. It is so offensive. I think I won't show that website. Maybe some other time. But then again, I feel like that's just pretty terrifying. So let's just stick to the simple things, buying into comics, because they have some really good articles and people on the chat. I don't think there's a chat. I think that maybe there is. I don't know. I don't even know if there is a chat. But there's another site. It's called. Uh, this is the site. This is the site. By the way, okay. Shekels. Shekel Hertz. Yes, that's the site. The name can give you the entire idea on what's it about. Look at this. They are so open about these. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. They just oh my gosh. This type of news is not good. Um wow. I mean the way they wrote it, it's a bit offensive, but hey, everyone has a right to say whatever they want, I guess. But of course, YouTube won't allow it, so unfortunately, I'm not going to show it. You just saw a sneak peek of that website, okay? If you want to check it, you can check it out yourself. I am not reviewing it on this video because YouTube will take my channel down. That's very offensive for YouTube standards. I mean, these people are just talking about like slurs, like it's nothing, you know. YouTube won't allow that, you know. Um, so I think Bounding into Comics is the best website to check all of this stuff in. Okay, so hope you all having a fine day. Now, today was a very sunny day, and all of a sudden, the clouds start forming, all the dark clouds, and it just covers up the nice bright blue sky. It's so annoying, you know. I really hate when that happens. You see a lovely blue sky, and then all of a sudden, these dark clouds come in and block your view and make it all untidy. I really hate dark clouds, you know. I really do. It's so annoying because it's summer, you know. You want it to be nice and bright and blue, you know. It's not even raining, okay? It's not raining. It's the clouds are just forming, okay? Can I just have a nice bright blue day? Maybe the grass needs water, so maybe I should not be complaining. Maybe I should not be complaining. If something else needs it, I guess it's makes sense. Okay, so this might be a bit of a strange video because some of y'all don't really pay attention to the geek stuff, you know. So this is from Eric July. Well, Eric July said this. People who eat up Hollywood nostalgia bait are part of the problem. Now, I myself, I'm not a fan of nostalgia bait. I don't like nostalgia bait, you know. There's nothing wrong with having, you know, um, paying homage to the past, you know. But if you're gonna use it as a way just to get customers in, that kind of sucks, you know. This is what Hollywood does now. They kind of bait and switch, you know. They show you some nostalgia and then they take it away. Yeah. So let's just saying, YouTuber Eric July recently declared that people who eat up Hollywood nostalgia bait, like the most recent episode of Book of Boba Fett, are part of the problem. Now I don't know anything about. Okay, yeah, okay, cancel me if you want to. Okay, Star Wars, I don't know. I'm not going to get into it. You know, I'm a very picky person. Let's just make that very clear. I'm a very picky person. You know, you can't just get me into anything. I'm going to question everything. I'm going to be very hard about everything if you get me into something, you know? So it's very hard to get me. into anything, you know? It has to happen naturally. I can't just do it on my own. So well, like, okay, I can do it, but sometimes I also like put pressure on myself not to watch something, you know? I'm a very strange person. But anyways, when it comes to Star Wars, I've been noticing people say that there's always nostalgia bait. There's always nostalgia bait. They always put nostalgia as a selling point, not just for Star Wars, but for everything, you know. And for me, it's like there's nothing wrong with paying homage to a character from the past, or maybe a scene from the past. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is that it's just used to sales, nothing more. You know, they can't rely on their own new idea. They have to just dangle up the past just so you can come and watch their new stuff because they have faith in their new stuff. You know. In the video, he explores the idea, stating, "We should we show something that's what's part of the franchise." I can't even read. I'm sorry. Let me take my time and read because I'm a very uh fast person. Okay, franchise. I will give them member berries that they consider what used to be the good old days, and if you eat that shit, you're part of the problem, man. Now, sometimes it's just a flat out bait and switch. Not always, but sometimes it's a flat out bait and switch. It's like there's the nostalgia. Here's the thing that really got you reeled in, and then they switch on. We've seen this happen a couple of times with franchises. This isn't even exclusive to Marvel, DC, or Star Wars, but it's the same thing, he continued. And Eric is right on many things, you know. Obviously, our politics are different, but he is right about this, you know. Nostalgia bait, I'm not a fan of that. I think nostalgia baiting is meh, you know. It's a bit of a meh thing, you know. You don't really I don't really like it, you know. It doesn't feel perfect, you know, especially if you're using it as a way to sell something, you know, because nostalgia can get you so far. Like it can make you happy for a couple of seconds, and then you realize, okay, what is this new stuff I'm seeing, you know? July then opened. I can't even say this word. Opened. This is what I've been trying to convince people of. You can't you can't operate as if these guys are owed the benefit of the doubt. I don't personally think they are. I think they've made their own goals and motives abundantly clear, especially with what happened to Gina Carano. Now, remember what happened to Gina Carano? Basically, she got fired for tweeting something. Yeah, for tweets. And you know something? Basically, she was comparing the the bad days. You know those days. I don't think I'm allowed to say it. I think YouTube will get angry at me. But those days, you know, uh the time where the funny mustache man was in power. You know who I'm talking about. Basically, she just compared current times to the past, and she got fired. She got fired. I think there was also another thing as well. She said she spoke about the elections, like questioning it, and all of a sudden she got fired. Like, really? Like those two tweets or those two posts. I think one was on Instagram. Basically, those two things got her fired, and it's like really. But you know what happens? Do you want to know what happens? What's her name? Whoopi Goldberg. She says something about the Holocaust, and all of a sudden she gets suspended. She doesn't even get fired. I'm not calling for a resignation. I'm not calling for that at all. I'm just saying, hey, this is crazy. But here's something to point out. I know a lot of people from like libertarian or right wingers watch me, but here's something to point out as well. This is something I learned last night. Last night. I was watching the stream from Ronaldo Kos, a South African YouTuber. He was basically debating another South African YouTuber I watch, uh, Morning Shot. Now, basically, it was a fun old video to watch, but one of the most important things to mention was Morning Shot mentioned something very important. You know, it was talking about the GoFundMe and the trucker convoy. Basically, what happened was GoFundMe is not allowing that page to be up. Basically, they're refunding the money or something like that, and it's like, really? But they were okay with leaving BLM stuff on. And some of us will say, okay, it's hypocrisy, but it's not hypocrisy. It's not hypocrisy at all. They were never fair to begin with, you know. They already chose their side, and that's their side. It's not hypocrisy because this is their regime, you know. I'm not putting it in its exact words, but you should check it out, the video. I'll try and link it. But I'm just saying, like, what he said was true, you know. It's not hypocrisy because they rule these things, you know. They are in charge. They are in charge of all of these things. And it was never about fair and being balanced. It was never about that. It was always about choosing one side over the other, you know. That's why BLM was able to have all their GoFundMe and stuff like that, you know. Whereas the trucker convoy is seen as a controversial thing, you know. I'm just saying it's not as free, you know. Like all of this, like news sites and okay, not news sites. All of this funding sites, all of the funding sites, they are biased, you know. They are biased. So don't be surprised, you know. They are biased for their own side. Obviously, there's no such thing as like balanced for them. So they already picked a side years ago, you know. So don't be so surprised. You know, they already chose their biases years ago, chose their side, and stood firmly with what they believe in. So you can't do the same thing, however, because it's their platform, you know. And we make our own platform, it gets taken off, you know. It's pretty strange. Okay, my mic is shocking me. Every time I put my lips on my mic, it electrocutes me. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get shocked. I shouldn't be drinking water. I will get so electrocuted if I do that. Okay, on Twitter, you shared the video stating, a lot of y'all clearly, and Disney, Marvel, Sony, and Lucasfilm all know that and know you'll come running anytime they jangle the keys of nostalgia bait. You prove them right when you support them. He is right, you know. They just dangle the keys, you know. You are the cat, and they dangle the keys in front of you. They want you to just take the product, you know. Now, once again, I want to watch these things. It's totally fine, but as a writer myself, I don't want to use nostalgia as a way to get people to buy my stuff, you know. Nostalgia, you know, is kind of annoying sometimes because it's like you had to connect always bring the past up, you know. I want to bring new ideas. I want people to like the new ideas for what it is. Sure, every story of mine is somewhat connected in slight ways or bigger ways, but regardless, I want the story to be its own story, you know. For years I wanted to make the stop motion doll animation series. It's supposed to be about this doll trying to find a body, you know. And when I was planning it at first, I was thinking, okay, you know what? I'm gonna put a bunch of references to another series that I want to work on. And then I thought to myself, wait a minute, am I trying to tell another story for within another story? Which doesn't make any sense, you know? It's like, why should I do that in the first place, you know? It was kind of messed up just to do that, you know, to tell another story with another story. Basically, in other words, I have another story that's talking about all of the lore of my universe, you know, and then we have another one that has nothing to do with it. Well, somewhat to do with that. It branches out from that, but it's not super connected, you know. It goes its own way. The idea goes its own way. It does its own thing. It's basically a new story. However, I was planning it out. This was a couple years ago, like 2018 and stuff like that. When I was planning it out, I remember distinctly trying to connect these stories together, but at the same time, I was telling the other story, you know? I was telling story A, and okay, am I making sense? Am I making sense? Basically, I was trying to write that stuff in. Um, so, you know, like, well, in this, well, I won't really consider that nostalgia. I would consider that maybe close to nostalgia. It depends. Okay, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I guess I messed up the entire argument. Great, I'm stupid. I'm very stupid. But what I was trying to say was, I want to tell a story for what it is. You know, like as I mentioned, a story about a doll that wants to find her old body. Okay, that's totally fine. But at the same time, it should be telling that doll's story. It should not be telling um another story from another series. It should be telling its own story. Sure, if it's connected to something else, that's totally fine, but it doesn't matter. That shouldn't be the main point. The point is supposed to be about the doll. Am I making sense? You know, even if story A and story B are connected, I can't really use story A on story B. I have to use story B for its own story. Am I making sense? I know I'm just babbling a bunch of stuff, but you'll see what I'm talking about in the future. Okay, but I know I missed the mark. Well, to be fair, nostalgia is kind of like the same thing. You're telling a different, you're trying to push a different story. Well, you're trying to dangle a different story in front of people. Oh look, there's X character in this movie. And they just show it for a couple of minutes, and then after that you realize, okay, this isn't the movie I wanted to see. Am I making sense? I hope I am. I really hope I am, because I am I am not making sense at all. I hope I am though, because nostalgia is not my favorite thing to use, and I feel like that's gonna happen to Lord of the Rings of Power, because if you don't know, there's gonna be a new Lord of the Rings series coming soon on Amazon. Now, I already have my fears about this because it's gonna be woke. It's gonna have a diverse cast, and by the way, the diverse cast is not hired by color blindness. It's hired by sake of diversity, basically to fill up check boxes. That's it. And there's gonna be a lot of contradictions. There's gonna be a lot of rewriting. The sneaky bastards literally waited for Tolkien's son to pass away, then they decided to change everything. It's pretty insane. And I'm sure they'll be using a lot of like nostalgia stuff to get people in, because they want a large audience, and I feel like they will be using nostalgia as well. That's just my prediction, you know, because these shows rely on nostalgia, you know, like even though what the show is based on, it's its own story in some way. Sure, it's connected to the full story of the Lord of the Rings, but it's more about the past. So how are they gonna do that? You know? And let's not forget, I've heard that the story is more religious. So how are they gonna put that in? Because I know for a fact woke people do not like religion. You know? So it's gonna be very sad, to take out a lot of aspects from the original story for the sake of modern politics. I'm just saying, just my prediction, it's gonna be a full nostalgia bait, you know? Okay, so talk about Gina Carano or this Tandiwe Newton. Now, um, that's actually a normal name, by the way. Um, if you're wondering. So yeah, I'm actually surprised as an actress with a name like this, in Hollywood. Did she come from Africa, or was she born in America? Um, okay, okay, she called herself Tan. Like I remember seeing Tandy, the name Tandy in school books. um, okay, Tandy's Tandy Newton's apology to dark-skinned women exposes the inside Hollywood. It's so messed up because it's like for some reason it's like you can never be dark enough for people. It's so insane. At this point, it's abundantly clear that Hollywood has gone to hell in a basket, more like a picnic. real way to change its trajectory. But, actually, Andy Newton, who recently decided 30 years ago after the fact to restore original name Andy, where in perfect symmetry with the political identity politics, decided to issue an apology to darker-skinned black females over the ability of particular roles. Now, I don't know where she is, what show she's on. I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't really pay attention to all of this, like, movies or whatever all the time. Like, I am looking forward for Jurassic World Dominion. That's something I'm looking forward for. But that's it. That's literally it. Like, most of these movies, I don't even know, or most of these shows, I don't really pay attention of the actors or actresses. It's like, sometimes you just don't know. Sometimes you just don't have time to. I now realize that my internalized prejudice was stopping me from being like, I can play this role when it's precisely that prejudice I've received. Doesn't matter if it's from an African American woman. Okay, she's African. Um, did you know that Elon Musk is an African American? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know Elon Musk is an African American? I know it sounds a bit crazy, but it's funny, say that to trigger people. He's African American. You can't deny it. He is what he is. Anyways, I wanted to so desperately apologize every day to darkest skinned actors. Oh my gosh. So crying over it. Oh man, what is why? Why? It's like, this has nothing to do with you. Like, dark skin, light skin, anyone can be any skin. I have literally seen fair skinned Africans, okay? Well, I'm an African myself, because technically the term African, because I'm born in Africa, but I'm talking about like the native Africans. Some of them are born with what's it called? What is that thing called where you have white skin? You're born with white skin, like pure white skin. Albino. Al albino. Albino. Basically, it's like plenty of children in Africa are born with albinism. I'm pronouncing it right. There are plenty of albinos. Like, basically, I know it's just issue. But what I'm trying to say is that uh yeah, it's just it's an absence of any pigmentation. Even animals get that too. What I'm trying to say is that everyone can be any skin tone. You can be fair skin African, or you can be a dark skin African. You can be the darkest European ever. And trust me, yes, there are dark Europeans. Have you seen people that do tans? Yeah, okay, okay. I'm just mentioning that that you get different skin tones from all over the world, different races, different stuff. That's the most important thing about where you come from, rather than what your skin tone is. I can't believe you're going backwards. We are just 28 years out of apartheid, and for some reason, when I see the rest of the world, they want to go back into the segregated place. Like, Africa just came out of apartheid just recently, but honestly, people out there are just so uh strange the, throughout the world, especially in Western countries. They want segregation. They call it safe spaces. It's not safe spaces. It's segregation. Um, the double standards in these Western countries, it's insane. And I feel very bad for many people, because people just want to live their life, but they have to deal with this crap every single time. You know, and it's mostly my generation pushing that stuff. My generation are pushing that stuff. That's literally the truth. Because they believe that everything is racist, apparently, even though it's not. Not everything is racist. Not everything is racism. Huh. These people have never experienced racism. The Gen Z has never, well, maybe a couple people, but still, the fact that everyone acts like they experience racism, it's insane. Woke actress Stone calls Rogan a hey-ole, risking people's lives with his idiocy. Here's the thing I don't understand though. Who died from listening to Joe Rogan? That's the question. who died from listening to him, you know? Elvira, I saw her on Scooby Doo. You know, there's a Scooby Doo movie, and she was there. Hmm. A lot of Joe Rogan stuff. Ricky Gervais, Genshin Impact, Jon Stewart. Ah, so much censorship, right? Let's check the anime page. That's enough. That's enough stuff about the West. Let's just see. Uh, uh, oh my gosh, Netflix. No, no, stop it. Oh, wait, is it anime adaptation or real life adaptation? It better not be real life adaptation. It says anime adaptation, so okay, okay. You know, Netflix's live adaptations of anime, it sucks. Attack on Titan. Holy crap. Do y'all watch Attack on Titan? Do y'all watch Attack on Titan? Oh my gosh. That's an amazing series, okay? I do recommend watching it, but just bear in mind, it has a lot of gore, it has a lot of like killing. So if you're totally fine with that, then I guess the show is perfect for you, you know? And oh my gosh, the final episodes are almost out. I think there's one more, a couple more coming out. And it's gonna be amazing, you know? It's gonna be amazing just to, you know, um, just to see those final episodes, you know? Attack on Titan is so good, okay? That's all I'm saying. It's so good. Um, it's such a good show, and it's so full of surprises. So I'm not gonna spoil anything, but hey, if uh, if you want to watch it, just bear in mind going it is going to be very violent. Okay. The Daily Stupid. Okay, this is like old articles. I don't want to see old articles. Let's see how the comic books are doing. Let's see the comic books. Comic books. Okay. Okay, it's just comic book reviews. Okay, to make Eternals pop. Okay, what's this? Uh, what? Oh my gosh. What's this? School task as publisher and distributor of children's books to publish transgender propaganda graphic novel Magic Boy. Let's see what this is about. I am sick and tired of like all of this like trans stuff, you know? Yes, I'm a transgender. Well, I'm going to transition in the but I'm tired of it, you know? When I was younger, I just wanted to transition. Never wanted to bother anyone's lives. But all of these activists, and by the way, activists aren't just only trans people. They come from all variations, you know? All types of backgrounds they come in. They harass people if you don't like trans people, want to date them, you know? It's so insane. Let people be, you know? Schooltastic, okay? So it's a children's publisher. Now I'm gonna publish for different ages. You know, I'm not really just the only uh, uh mature audience. I'm not really a only adult audience because I want to try different things. I like children's story. I think that's the best part about writing. You know, because I want to write some children books as well. I want to write a couple of children books that's pretty much good for them. You know, because I grew up reading children's books. Like I loved reading books when I was a child, and all of those books were very inspiring to me. So I would like to write children's books in the future. Well, I'm working on one now, but more in the future. But obviously, it's like I cannot put stuff like this in the book. I can't put stuff like this in a children's book. It's impossible. Okay, and it's a bit annoying. You know, it goes against everything I stand for. You know. Okay, we'll publish transgender propaganda. Okay, so what is this about? Is this about a boy that can transform into a girl? The book is written by Kao and its official short summary. Okay, Star Max, a high schooler chosen to become the next magic girl. There's just one catch. He is a trans boy. What? What the fuck? So basically, a biological woman, biological girl. Um, eh, the longer version reads, although although E was assigned a female at birth, Max is your own, okay, average trans boy. You mean the one that bullies you online? Trying to get to high school by himself. Okay. You know, back in the day, we used to tell children, be yourself. Be yourself, you know? But now we can't even say that because that's offensive. Let's see this. That's a boy. I mean, that doesn't look like a boy. Um, However, it recommends the book for children's grade 8 to 12, ages 13 and up. Okay, that's a bit okay, but still, like even though I think that age you can read a lot of books, you know, but I don't think you should be um putting this stuff for children. You know? Maybe that's just me, but you know, it's like here's the thing. Here's the thing. If a child says they want to transition, you can't just say, okay, you know, my mother is not allowing me to transition. I'm slowly getting there, but I'm an adult now, so I feel like we can at least get there, but I'm not a child, you know? I started telling her that when I was a child, you know, like 16, 17 years old. When I was 16, I guess, yeah. I was telling her stuff like that, you know? And she wouldn't allow it, obviously, because guess what? You know, she was in charge, but now I'm an adult. I can make the responsibility and do whatever I want. So what is this? Mm, okay. Bishop Michael Burbage of Catholic Diocese of Ellington wrote a catechesis. I can't even say it. The claim to be transgender or desire to seek transition rests on a mistaken view of a human person, rejects the body as a gift from God, and leads to grave harm. So this guy over here, this guy looks like what? Like an awesome dude, you know? Okay, so he basically said some stuff. What? Magical boy. It's kind of insane, you know? And I want to mention something, okay? Let's just start talking about the ma'am stuff, you know? When it comes to transgender stuff, the only people targeted by the agenda, the actual agenda, you know, the agenda that people say, that agenda is only targeting women, not targeting men transitioning to a woman, t- targeting the opposites. And it's so insane because there are little girls out there who are lied to and said, okay, you must take this in order to be better. No, that's the thing I hate the most about this world is that when it comes to girls being forced to be boys, it happens. It happens. I'm not joking. This happens all the time. Okay, there is a spike in gender transitions for women turning into males. You know why? Because many of them, not all of them, but many of them are young. Many of them were told, okay, we got to do this, do that. Maybe social media has a bigger role to play. You can't discuss these things anymore because you have like a cult. I like to call it the transgender cult. If you dare criticize anything at all, obviously I don't count as the cult, even though I want to be a girl. I don't count because I am a conservative. So like me, Blair White, and all the other conservatives, we don't count of the alphabet community. You know, we just our own thing. We just our own individuals. But the thing I'm trying to say is that when we mention something like this, people go furious. The trans cults go furious. They want to attack you for just saying something like this, you know? Because yes, there are girls out there, especially young ones, targeted in schools by so-called therapists trying to force you to transition, okay? Okay? And once again, body dysmorphia is different from gender dysphoria, okay? It's insane that we went so far from love yourself, love your body to you must transition. Like there are people who actually say that to young girls. It's so disgusting. It's so scary, and I fear for that. I fear, when I have a daughter, I fear for my daughter. When I have a daughter of my own, I will be very protective. Um, let's see. Okay, now I don't know the magic of the kids series. I don't know. I'm not an American. Okay, I'm not an American or whichever this country is from. Is this a British? Is this well UK, uh, America, woke countries? Mm, is this an American title? I don't know. Well, regardless, I'm just saying, that there are children out there who targeted from stuff like this, or sometimes even online they targeted. They think it's gonna be all okay when you transition. It's not gonna be super okay. Tomorrow I'll be talking about detransitioning. It's gonna be a very strange topic. Uh, I just want to say that please understand. I have to title it in some way where where the trans cult can't attack me, because there are these people who always want to attack you for having an opinion. Like, well, not really opinion, it's facts. There are people out there bossing children to transition. You mention it, they think you're evil, you want to kill children, or they say these crazy things. I'm just saying, you know, I want to protect children. I don't want children to make the bad choice in life and chop off certain parts of their bodies and then realize when they grow up this was a big mistake, because many of them, live with a mistake. And it's sad. It is really sad to see stuff like this. But it's mostly happening to women. Women are mostly targeted, with this type of stuff. Women, young girls. So I'm just putting it plain and simple, okay? Uh, this is the truth. I it for years, and it's gonna continue. Okay. Until we put a stop to it. Okay. I must magic of the kids being allowed to enjoy innocence of. Okay, where's my glasses? Uh, before I get a migraine. Every week I'm getting a migraine. So there was a time where children. Okay, yeah, there was a time where children talked about stickers and t-ball. What is t-ball? Is that table? No, no. Is that table tennis? No. What is t-ball? I don't even know this type of stuff. Now they talk exactly. When I was a child growing up, we didn't. Okay, only with one of my friends I would talk about learning about the body and stuff like that, because we were learning that in school. We would just joke around. We would joke around. We wouldn't take it so seriously. We would joke around it. We would joke around it, and that's it. But overall, we would also talk about other things like Naruto. We would talk about anime. We would talk about different type of stuff. We would talk about what else? Schoolwork, for crying out loud. Children would always talk about schoolwork, what you did on the test paper. I remember every time after an exam, you finish a paper, and children will come out of the exam rooms talking about the answers they got, and you'll be sitting in the corner thinking, how the heck did you get the wrong answer? Okay, that used to be the thing, and that was just a couple years ago for me. Things are changing very fast all over the world. It's in the scariest way possible. You know, it's not changing for the good; it's changing for the bad. They seem to be using the anime art style. Yeah, maybe to cash in. Okay, yeah, I guess so too. But it doesn't count as real anime, regardless. Even if you use the art style, it doesn't count. It doesn't count as anime art style. Okay, I mean, okay, it doesn't count as authentic anime. It is the art style, but not authentic art style. Okay, let's just put that out. Okay, I'm speaking too fast. I'm sorry. Slow and steady wins the race. Blatantly ripping off and appropriating other cultures. Interesting when a trans character shows up in something that only grants powers to females. Sometimes it's for trans males, sometimes it's for trans female. You expect the consistency for communities was in full agreement of such things. How is this even remotely acceptable, appropriate for those ages? Unacceptable at any age. To be fair, maybe for like mature audiences, can't see them make a profit out of it. It's not about the profit for them exactly. They don't give a shit. It's all about the message. But then they complain about why they're getting so little money. No surprise there. Scholastic has been a huge. Okay, so there have been huge woke agenda stuff. Okay, disgusted, disgusting but expected. Okay, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. Some people expect it from miles away. That's totally fine. Okay, my voice is trying to give up. I'm not gonna give up though. Never gonna give you up. Okay, okay. So, given that the girl receives powers only received for girls, despite cosplaying as a boy, does it mean the alphabet crowd is finally acknowledging biological differences? Oh snap! I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that for them. The cult, it doesn't work like that for them because because whatever they say goes, even if it contradicts them. I hate contradicting myself. I really do. I really do. That's why when I write my stories, I try not to contradict myself in different writings or whatsoever. You know. But anyways, I'm talking about something else about writing. We are talking about agenda stuff. I feel a bit bad for children to have to read this, but I feel especially more bad for those who are forced to transition. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I feel more bad for those who are forced to transition. You know. It's happening more in UK, which is crazy. UK is a woke place. UK, America. What else? Which other woke places? I don't even know. Well, Australia. Yeah, let's put Australia in. I mean, let's just throw in Australia as woke because the fact that they are so mean, the fact that they are building concentration camps, that is the wokest thing to do. Okay, okay. So G4. Did y'all know about the G4 news? The G4 nonsense was happening? Did y'all hear about that? Holy moly, did y'all? I hope y'all did because uh it's gonna be hard to explain it. G4 is this American company, TV company that went out a long time ago. It used to be about gaming. And they used to have a hot presenter. There used to be a hot presenter, and people just watch it for the presenter. And basically, years later, they bring it back, and people were okay with that. But all of a sudden, there was this lady named Frosk. That's not a real name. It's basically, she had a rant about sexism in gaming. Now, the reason why she was saying that wasn't because she was treated unfairly. It was because for calling PlayStation a dead man walking, Sony a dead man walking. Am I summing it up very clearly? I hope so. And then obviously Sony fanboys got angry with her saying that, and they responded back. But of course, she then decided to press the button and say, you know what? These people aren't giving me criticisms; they're giving me sexism. So she made a big rant, and then all of a sudden, people were getting angry about that rant because that rant never represented gamers in the slightest. And here's the thing about gamers, okay? We don't care what you are, whatever. If you're here to have fun, have fun. Yes, there's gonna be a lot of crap talking, but that's what's gonna happen. It's a video game. It's a video game. People like to talk shit within their own friend group. So even playing with Switch, people like to talk shit as well. So it's like, yeah, it became the norm. Now you can turn off the voice chat if you feel like you are getting harassed online in a video game. But overall, people love gamer girls. Love gamer girls. The amount of men that fantasize over gamer girls, yeah, those gamer boys are very sexist. Okay, so G4, okay, basically, Frost was Frost was getting annihilated on Twitter. She deleted a lot of her tweets and stuff like that, and it was a big story. It happened for a couple of weeks now. It started since the beginning of this year. Okay, that's how far this controversy was going for. Okay, so now we have the senior vice president of G4 that says, "Don't watch us," because he's standing firm with his employee. Now, to be fair, I am happy that at least he will stand firmly for someone that works with him, because these days people are very, very unloyal to others. immediately when something bad happens, they kick you out. They kick you out, you know? They kick you out, shoo you out, say bad things about you, you know? Cancel culture, saying the word cancel, but yeah, it happens, you know? Like, you can have a boss, and then let's just say you say something offensive, but you said it in the past. Your boss won't stand with you. Your boss might fire you, you know? But this is a boss that'll actually stand with you, so that's okay. At least give him props for that, okay? But anyways, G4 TV Senior Vice President Blair Herter, get it? Who Herter? Okay, uh, who was previously a host on the network's Attack show. Okay, it was basically on different shows for the channel. Told gamers not to watch G4 following Frost's infamous rant about sexism in gaming. Okay. In the middle of January, during X Plays, the airing of Gaming Grievances segment, Frost stated, in joining G4, I was ecstatic to be part of something I grew up watching as a child, but every time G4 is brought up in various channels, even in this YouTube channel, we have a chat in front of us. I see you without a doubt. There will be backlash because I am not as bangable as the previous host. She said this because Sony fanboys were talking back to her, basically. You know? Okay, that's what she said. There's a full video on that. You can just check it out, you know? It's much more cringier than me reading it, you know? Frusk then stated, and that's just obvious sexism, you know? Even though it wasn't sexism, it was just criticism. Okay, so they are basically just just giving what you said, quoting what you said. Okay. Okay, let's see this. When you are in our DMs or in those YouTube comments or in Twitch chat right now, those reactionary threads, oh my gosh, reactionary. Don't you just love when they call us reactionary? Don't you just love when they call us reactionary? Thinking I'm somehow ruining your current X-Play experience because you can't objectify me. Lady, people would pay you so they won't objectify you, okay? Because they don't want to objectify you. They don't want to objectify you at all, okay? What's there to objectify with? What's there, okay? And just remember, this company, G4, was the same company that were totally fine with quote-unquote objectifying women in the past, you know? So why is this now the gamer's fault, you know? That's what she said, basically. Like a big thing she said. Then we have Blair Herter. As you can see his profile picture, you know, he's strong, he's masculine, you know, he's here to own us, guys. He's here to own us. Grateful to spend my life with a woman who smashed glass ceilings. You mean the freaking mirror? I don't think she smashed glass ceilings. In fact, why even have a glass ceiling in the first place? Glass ceilings are freaking dangerous, okay? Oh my gosh. Why even have a glass ceiling? Okay, regardless. She smashed mirrors. She cracked mirrors, but not glass ceilings, okay? Honored to work with the woman of G4 TV's past and humans like Froskin. That's a full username, by the way. Today. Proud to work at a place that makes stuff like this. If you don't hear the below, unfollow me and don't watch us. We are not for you. Don't you just love when the SJWs, they immediately start saying like this, if you don't like us, don't follow us or stuff like that. I actually had an experience with someone like that in the past. I was defending what's his name? Vic Mignogna. You know the guy, the voice actor. Basically what happened years ago, he was getting a bunch of accusations and Twitter was going crazy. They took these fake accusations, these fake smears, and they just went with it. And basically someone said, if you like Vic Mignogna, or if you're a Vic Mignogna supporter, unfollow me. That's what the person said. Then I responded with so I call him an SJW basically, and then he went to my comment. And then him and his little buddies went to my Twitter on my Twitter page. They mocked me for having certain posts, and then yeah, it was so insane. It was so insane. You know, that was my first experience with people like this. They would say, if you don't like it, unfollow me or stuff like that. We are not for you. Then who are you here for? The same people who hate video games? SJWs do not like video games, okay? They may give you a couple of likes on Twitter because you have a SJW character, but let's be real for a second. Let's be real for a second, okay? They don't care about you, about your game whatsoever. Okay. Okay, yeah, he called us Nazis. Well, he called the rallies Nazis. Wow. Why is she? Oh my gosh, one of the mothers of SJWs. Battlefield 5. Okay, they're giving examples of Get Woke, Go Broke. Basically, this chick, she wrote a comic book. It did so bad, and then basically what she said was, if you don't like it, don't buy it. And of course, people didn't buy it. Battlefield 5 was filled with identity politics. People didn't like it. You know what EA said? Don't like it, don't buy it. And no, and well, it was pretty popular, but it died out pretty quickly. Um, that's it. So, okay, anyone talking about anything? No one talking about something. Retry. Oh, 51 comments. I should sign up with this website. It's pretty cool for my geek stuff. For the life of me, I don't understand the line of thinking. Give him credit for voicing his opinion and disdain for a large portion of the gaming community. Now, onto watching gamers who love gaming talk about gaming. Okay, people are awake now. Yep, they are. I remember enjoying G4 in the past. Okay. Um. So a gaming channel that has nothing to do with gaming. Got it. Remember when MTV was music? Oh, yeah, MTV became woke. Anyways, I'm almost at an hour, so might as well wrap it up. To end it up, I just want to share. I hope you all have an amazing day. And, I love this type of stuff. I love geek stuff. I love reading this type of stuff. It's amazing. You know, for me, it's just amazing. I just love geek stuff. I'm not a nerd. I'm not that smart. Nerds mean smart. Geeks mean, well, geeks mean basically you like all these type of movies. You just love different characters. You love video games. You love comic books. What else? I think that kind of defines geeks. I'm sure there's a bigger definition, but that's just like the definition I can go with. Anything else? Gina Carano. Someone actually said she should be arrested for saying something. You know what she said last year, the thing she got fired for. Someone said she should be arrested for that. That's insane. That is insane. Why she should be arrested, I don't know. Why should she be arrested is never the answer. They just want everyone in prison. Unless you are actually the person doing the crime, then it's totally fine. Oh my gosh, introduces potential new female Robin. Wasn't there already a female Robin? Eh, honestly, I don't even know at this point. DC stands for dying company at this point. The Lord of the Rings. Okay. Blizzard, okay. What else? I hope I'm not talking too loud. I feel like I'm talking way too loud. My voice is getting away. I'm sorry if I don't sound like a cute person. I try to sound cute. My throat's hurting. From the morning, it's been hurting. Um, it's insane. Okay, what's this? Same chick crying about being light skinned, defending the soy of men. There's a difference between being a feminine man and being a soy boy. Big difference. Soy boys are very unattractive. Feminine boys or femboys, if you want to call them that, are cute. Okay. Uh, Crusaders, Kings 3 to add same-sex marriage in future patch. Just what the world needed, I guess. Um, just what the world needed. Okay. Just what the world needed. The Flash. Okay. Like, look at this. Like, did you know that Game of Thrones was a response to Lord of the Rings? You cannot make Lord of the Rings or the Rings of Power into Game of Thrones. You know, you're basing it off a story. Well, they're gonna be taking bits and blobs of different stories that Tolkien wrote from the past, and is basically they're basically gonna add their own little extra stuff in it. You know, so they're giving such woke stuff. They're giving it a woke wash. You know, a nice woke wash. You know, it's insane at this point. You know, like this should be just used for propaganda. You know, they're using this as a way to get fans, but then all of a sudden they'll pull a bait and switch. It'll be nothing about Lord of the Rings. It'll be about the women. It'll be about women versus men. I don't even understand why we're having this gender debate. There are adults having this gender debate. It's sad, honestly. Children only have those debates. Children have those debates, not grown-ups. But it seems like children these days are more responsible than adults now, isn't it? But you know, whereas the adults. By the way, look at this. Look at look at the casting. At the casting. Look at the casting. For this. The casting of it was so crazy. Let me see if I can find it. So, Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. Let's just see this. Okay, I know a couple minutes more in the video, but uh. Is it searching? Well, of course, after this, I'm gonna eat something. My throat is hurting so badly now. Oh my gosh, my voice always breaks, but not like this. I sound like a motorbike. My voice sounds like a motorbike that's trying to go up a hill. Okay, a lot of the rings, okay? So we have. Yeah, there's gonna be changes. There's gonna be changes to the original law. It's so messed up. You know, I feel so bad. Tolkien is getting his work destroyed. The Silmarillion. I can't even say it. I can't even say it. I'm sorry, but I can't pronounce this word. Can you pronounce this word? Cause I can't. I'm gonna mess it up. Okay. So basically, what they were saying was they're gonna change some stuff. So basically, Fellowship fans were going to reveal on an alleged character description for the character that shows the character. Wait, what? Okay, I can't read properly, I guess. Um, I can't even say it. Farazan is imperious, arrogant, not particularly likable, but also a very intelligent and consummate. Oh my, I can't even read. I'm a writer and I'm struggling with words. Holy crap. Politician. Fellowship of the Fans. Something I have a feeling they're gonna link it to man. How much I bet you? How much I bet you? I will basically I will dress up in the cutest outfit ever. If I'm right, okay? No, no, if I'm wrong, obviously. Well, anyways, I'll dress up in a cute outfit. If I'm right, and they basically base a character off Orange Man, all the characteristics of Orange Man, you know for a fact, uh, I'll be right, because I'm saying it right now, calling it right now. So it's like the book is supposed to be about the past, but yet they're changing these things. No, it's so messed up. Can we just have the original story? Everything I see and read about the Rings of Power shows really, really makes me want to ignore it. The destruction of Middle Earth. Yep, it came to free. I can't even say it. Fruition. I can't even say it. I'm sorry. I keep botching up these names. I can type these names. I can type these terms. Sorry, these terms. But I do struggle. I do struggle pronouncing it. Like I can't even pronounce digital sometimes. I can't pronounce digital. I struggle to say that. You know. I'm curious to learn from the reviewers if it's going to be woke mess. It is. I can tell from a mile away. I can smell the amount of wokeness coming from this show. Okay, let's just see anything else before I go. Maybe I should do a different live stream later, just discuss this, or do a separate video. I have not made a video in so long. Rings of the Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings. Okay. Sam and Frodo are not homosexuals. Yes, there are people actually saying these two guys are homo. How are they homo? I don't know. Yes, they're a new character. I don't understand why. Tolkien had like 700 characters, and yet you want to do this. Okay. Film updates claims Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings films are steeped in racist imagery. Holy shit. Let's read this. Let's read this before we go. This is very interesting. By the way, if you want to support this this site, it's called Bounding to Comics. It is an amazing site if you love geek stuff, if you love comic books, or you want to keep up with the comic book stuff. It's amazing. I recently Lord of the Rings. I watched the movies and the Hobbits, and honestly, there was no racial images whatsoever. Okay. Okay. Uh, what's this? What's the frick? The all white legacy of the original films breed this in. Why we have to cast it? What the fuck? Here's the thing. There's a difference between colorblind casting, where you don't give a crap about the color of the character, because let's just say that there's an actor who's maybe brown or light skinned, and he's very well loved. You can just cast that character mostly because of his name, instead of casting for the skin. But these people out there are being casted for the sake of the skin. I had no issue with seeing an all white cast in Lord of the Rings. I had no issue, you know. Do these people have an issue when they see an all Indian cast in a Bollywood movie? No, they don't have an issue. Why is it always that everything when it comes to European stuff must be drenched with diversity, but other stuff can't be, okay? When you look into an African film, you see mostly Africans, okay? Nigerian films are filled with Africans, okay? Okay. This has nothing to do with racism, okay? Nothing at all. The fact that these people are going so far, it's so insane. People like this are just Western civilization, okay? Okay? Aiding white people is just the same as aiding black people. It's the same thing. We are all the same. You can't aid someone based on their looks, okay? The fact that we have to tell this to people these days, it's insane. Oh my gosh. Maybe I'm just a waifu. All white full racist imagery. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Imagine saying that. Holy crap. All white frat. And if it was all white, is that a problem? Here's the thing I hate the most of. They make it an issue. They make it an issue, okay? I'm gonna make a separate video on this. I'm gonna bookmark this, okay? But they make it an issue. They make it an issue, okay? I don't understand how this can be an issue. It seems like more of a them problem than a my problem, okay? Anyways, I'm going. I have to